Several years ago, I was touring a Holocaust museum, and I was deeply moved by the images of suffering, grief, and mass injustice that I saw there. Near the end of the tour, though, there was a painting on the wall of Hitler, playing games, laughing, and enjoying time with his friends. I and many else who were there were struck by the idea that Hitler would have been enjoying the beauties of life, while at the same time, the greatest genocide that has ever been known was being carried out on his behalf. But apparently not everyone saw it this way. Sometimes in the previous few hours, someone had attached a handwritten note to the picture saying, "Reality check. God has forgiven Hitler. Hitler is in heaven." God has forgiven Hitler? He did? And someone knows this for sure? And felt the need for the rest of us to know? I mean, do the most evil and unrepentant people in history, remaining as they are, still make it to heaven? What about those who aren't quite so evil? Child molesters, racists, drug lords? Or what about all of us who only yell at our children, cut off people on the highway, cheat on our taxes? What makes our evil less than Hitler's? Is it the number of people you hurt? How badly? Or that anyone knows? Or whether you meant to? But see, then there's the question behind the question. The real question is, what is God like? Because millions and millions have been taught that the primary message of Jesus is that God is willing to forgive anyone and everyone, no matter what they've done and no matter what evils they've committed. So what gets subtly caught and taught is that God is willing to forgive any perpetrator of evil, regardless of whether the victims ever actually see justice. That God is willing to let things slide that we should not. What kind of God is that? Can a God so uninterested in justice be good? How can that God ever be trusted? How can that ever be good news? This is why lots of people want nothing to do with the Christian faith. They see it as an endless list of absurdities, inconsistencies, and say, why would I ever want a part of that? See, what we believe about heaven and hell is incredibly important because it exposes what we believe about who God is and what God is like. What you discover in the Bible is so surprising and unexpected and beautiful that whatever we've been told or taught, the good news is even better than that, better than we could ever imagine. It means pure and perfect justice, no wrong accusations, no punishments that don't fit the crime, no hidden motives, no unaccounted pains or sorrows, but overflowing compensation for anyone who's ever been hurt or betrayed. The good news of Jesus, though, is that God is both all-loving and perfectly just. Perfectly just because the wrath of God has been satisfied and sin has been paid for. All-loving because Jesus was willing and glad to do it on our behalf. The good news is that Jesus wins.